Once upon a time, there lived ZMEI GORYNYCH. It was a three-headed flying dragon, cruel and evil. He collected the tribute from all the nearby villages, cattle, poultry, grain, and everything else that can be eaten. And the most terrible thing was that every spring he kidnapped beautiful girls and took them to his mountain. Then no one ever saw them again. Everyone was so afraid of him and never dared to resist. Who was that terrifying dragon? Where did he come from? And why his image is so strong and cruel in all the Slavic fairy tales? Hi, I'm Stacy, and we are talking about the other side of Russia. So grab something strong, make yourself comfortable, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to learn more about Slavic pagan legends and myths. And we are starting. Numerous fairy tales describe ZMEI GORYNYCH as a three-headed dragon, and we see him as a dragon, but actually he refers to the serpent, the son of the storm cloud and the celestial mountain. Flying creature with a long tail and an arrow on its end. He has webbed wings, though they were never described in any source or legend. It's just illustrations, as an author imagination came from the fact that the serpent is flying. GORYNYCH could have 3, 6, 9 or 12 heads, but usually depicted with 3. His body is a serpentine covered with a strong armor, and he has 4 strong legs, or sometimes 2 legs and 2 front paws or hands. He's spewing smoke from his nostrils and ears and flame from his mouth. ZMEI kidnaps beautiful young girls and takes tribute and sacrifices from citizens. He takes this all to his cave in the mountains, where he keeps all his treasures. The figure of ZMEI GORYNYCH played a big and very important role in Slavic pagan mythology. Reflected in tales, he was depicted as an evil creature. But as we already know from one of my previous videos about Baba Yaga, I leave the link right here, there were no evil, bad characters in pagan Russia. All the powers were equal and needed to be accepted as they are, with no bad or negative attitude. So this frightening creature should have some special purpose, some duties in the world of Slavic gods. So let's take a look at some very interesting versions of that. Why he was called ZMEI GORYNYCH? ZMEI here means serpent, not a dragon, not a dinosaur, but a serpent or a snake. The figure of serpent had some important meaning for Slavic people. The first mentions of a mysterious serpent Slavic god referred to the 4th or 5th centuries and further to 11th or 12th centuries as well. Serpent, or even lizard, is a crocodile god or a serpent god, and in pagan pre-Christianic Russia he was known under the names of Yasha, Yesha, Yosha, Yaje, Yasse. Not much information is saved about this mysterious god, but most probably he was associated with the god of the world of the dead, or one of his manifestations, or maybe a sea king, as soon as the serpent is a sea creature. He was often described as a confrontational power, for example, always fighting the god Svarog. Slavic people knew that his kids heredited some powers from the mother of the raw earth. That's why they were mostly giants or snakes with 3 heads, called Goruns, which later could be transformed into GORYNYCH. That's one of the versions how the patronymic name GORYNYCH appeared. Another legend said that it was taken from the word Gara, the mountain, because in the most fairy tales he lived in the mountains. But also it could be formed from the personal name Gorynykh, who is one of the three giant bogatirs. He was in charge from mountains, snakes, or serpents. Another interesting thing connected with the serpent in the Slavic history was written by the German traveler-scientist Zygmunt Gerberstein in the first half of the 16th century. In his notes on Moscovia, he wrote, "There are very many idolaters who feed at home some snakes with four-short paws like lizards, with black and fat body, having no more than 60-70 centimeters in length, and called gibbons." The chronicle analysis showed real existence of beasts, lizards of several kinds, like predatory, living underwater, and domestic, terrestrial, and they were probably fully exterminated by Christianic followers. Also, lots of pieces of furniture and musical instruments were found belonging to the 12th century with a serpent ornament or image on it, though it seemed to be that the serpent was more like a guardian or inspirational image. Pre-Christianic image of a serpent guardian. Before the Christianic religion came to the land, Slavic pagan myths and legends had a big three-headed ZMEI GORYNYCH guarding the Kalinov most, the bridge across the Smorodin river of fire, which divided two worlds from each other, the world of the living and the world of the dead, and he watched that only dead souls could cross that bridge and never return back. Later on, the image of ZMEI GORYNYCH moved to the mountains cave, or a big castle standing in mountains, and turned from a guardian to an evil creature terrorizing people living around. So, why three heads? And here we also face several versions, from the very simple to the most interesting one. The first and the most harmonic one is that three heads represented three main elements: fire, water, and earth. Another one said that he was three-headed, analogously with three-headed Cerberus in Greek mythology, the evil guardian. Or actually it could be three types of thinking, like the first is logic and common sense, the second is belief or faith, religion also, and third is art. According to the next one, the three-headed creature breathing with flame was an image of upcoming Christianic Trinity, a kind of prediction, a symbol of that terrifying damage when people were burned alive for standing their pagan nature. Russia was turned to Christianity by the fire and the sword. In Russian fairy tales, ZMEI GORYNYCH represented as an evil creature or an object on confrontation. He always fight brave knights and bogatirs for beautiful ladies and lands, and makes a big damage. He has a weak point, which is behind his head and the back, and to kill the serpent, one needed to destroy all three heads at a time, which was nearly impossible. The symbol of serpent usually connected with women, fertility, earth, rain, and water from the one side, and fire, especially sky fire, and man fertility from the other side. It also represents the good and the bad, wisdom and blind passion, as well as the underworld. Egyptian cobra is a symbol of divine wisdom and authority. Greece have a serpent, represents wisdom, new life, and healing. Aztec serpent god was the creator of wind, rain, and light, like Slavic GORYNYCH, which was associated with the thundercloud. Both serpents received tributes and gifts. Christianity draws a serpent being a Satan, representing all the evil side of a human nature. And what do you guys think about this mythological creature? What kind of serpents do you have in your culture? Leave the comment down below. This is very interesting. Subscribe the channel if you aren't already, and give this video a thumbs up or down as you feel it to be. And I'm leaving you, not for so long. See you in the next video. Bye.